All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Again, thank you all for joining us for this webinar on a Thursday. We'd like to go through some key pieces in the PartsTech platform for those who may be new or just starting out, or for those that would like to learn some quick tips on how to maximize your efficiency in your shop through better practices in part searching and ordering. So, uh, host for today, myself, John Heller, product marketing here at PartsTech, and I'll be kind of walking you through a demo of the product. We'll turn it over to Stephen, let him introduce himself. He will be our expert question and answer person as we go along.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Yeah, glad to be here today. And thank you for everyone joining. I'm Stephen Meyer. I head up the product department here at PartsTech. Been with PartsTech since 2020 and representing an awesome team that loves hearing all the different unique challenges that shops have so we can figure out just innovative ways to solve it and help reduce any time spent throughout your workflow when it comes to procuring parts. So definitely looking forward to today. And John, back over to you.
All right. Thank you, Stephen. Absolutely. So, we'd like to get to know our audience a little bit better. We always find this is a great way to tailor the conversation going forward. So, for those of you who have joined us here, I'm going to start a quick poll to give us an idea. And I'm going to go ahead and launch that and give you some time to answer these questions and better understand our audience. All right, I'll give this about another 15 seconds and we'll end the poll. All right, thank you. So some great information here. Looks like most of you are wanting to understand how to find and connect suppliers. So we will go over that as well as cluing you in on some great functionality within the PartsTech platform on how you can increase your speed in finding the right parts and tires. So again, I appreciate that input and we'll go ahead and end the poll now. And I'll pop up the results here so everyone can see that. Also looks like we have a lot of individuals purchasing 3 and even 4 plus from 3 or 4 plus suppliers. So we'll show you how you can make sure you can get all of those connected and optimize your part searching and ordering through them as well. All right, thank you for that. All right, let's jump into it now. Come back here. So just by way of an introduction, I want to make sure that we want to keep this as lively as possible. Stephen is here to be able to answer questions. If you would put those questions in the Q&A box as we go along, that way Stephen can see those questions and respond in real time. Stephen is extremely knowledgeable, brings the full wealth of the product team here as well. So please ask questions as we go along the way. We want to make sure that this is as useful for you and as beneficial for you. So please don't hesitate to ask any question that you have. The old adage goes, no question is a stupid question, and that is absolutely the case here. We want to make sure that you know what you need to know about PartsTech in order to be able to order and get those parts and tires into your shop as quickly as possible. So whether you're new, as I mentioned before, whether you are just starting out as a recent user of PartsTech or you've been around for a while, I think there's going to be some tips here that we're going to show you today that help you understand how PartsTech is this complete procurement solution in one platform, enabling you to be able to find aftermarket parts, tires, as well as OE parts in here, all in one place. What I would like to point out at the very top here is that PartsTech is completely free. We require no credit card information for you to be able to create an account and to connect your suppliers, connect it to a shop management system as well, and to begin to immediately be able to use PartsTech for your part searching and ordering needs. We allow you to connect to unlimited number of suppliers. So we don't cap the number of suppliers that you can connect within PartsTech. And we provide accurate real-time information as we'll show you here in a little bit. So again, I urge those of you who may be joining us for the first time and don't currently have a PartsTech account, please go to our website, scan this QR code real quick if you would. It takes less than a few minutes to create a PartsTech account, and it would be extremely beneficial for you to have access to the account so you can somewhat follow along as we're going through this webinar here as well. So again, free to use, no credit card information needed for you to create an account, connect suppliers, and start using PartsTech today. All right, so I will jump now into a demonstration of this, and I'll pop over to my screen here. All right, so I'm going to just jump right into it here. So for those of you who are using a shop management system, up here in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see your vehicle information automatically populated in PartsTech when you punch out from there. Otherwise, if you're using PartsTech as a standalone and you're directly logging into PartsTech, this is where you would go to put in your vehicle information. We give you a couple different ways to provide the information that you may have on hand, so that you can start searching and ordering parts as quickly as possible. Now I'm going to go through a complete process here from beginning to end to show you how fast it is to build a cart, and then I'm going to circle back around and show you some of the details of that. So coming into PartsTech, you can simply put your cursor up here in the type field form and you can start typing. I'm going to start typing in brake. And you're going to see here, it's going to give me a couple different options from a part name standpoint. I'm going to hit brake pad. Now, as soon as I hit that, we are going to go and query across all of your suppliers part availability and the pricing based off of your account information and present this all in one screen. You can simply then tab through each of these suppliers to look at the different options that you have. And so in this case, I'm going to add this brake pad. Now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to look for a rotor. And now I'm going to perhaps look across a different supplier. I'll choose this one, add this one to my cart. Now I also know that I would like to look for some calipers. I'm going to select caliper in here. For this one, I might be curious to see what a dealer in my area that's provided their inventory and PartsTech has. So I'm going to add this to the cart as well. Now, if I also want to add tires, I come up here to the drop down, and this is an area that I want to make sure everyone's aware of. For tires, we do offer tires on our platform. You come up here to this parts and you click the drop down button, and you'll see this tire selection. Simply click on the tires. We provide you all of the available tire sizing for you to be able to do this. And similar to our part search results, we will present tire options across all of your suppliers in one screen. Many of you mentioned in our poll that you're purchasing from 3, even 4+ suppliers. We totally understand the pain that there is if you're calling those suppliers individually or you're logging into separate websites. PartsTech brings it all into one screen and cuts that hassle out for you. So now you've seen me populate a cart here across 4 different suppliers. It includes aftermarket parts, it includes OE parts, and it includes tires, and I'm done. That's how long, or as I will say, how short it actually took me to find what I needed across multiple suppliers, across multiple different part categories, and populate that into a cart. And when this gets transferred back into my SMS system, it's all going over as one order. You don't need to place separate orders for each one of these parts in your cart. So we're finding that users of PartsTech are generally finding what they need in PartsTech, creating a cart and moving on with their RO, moving on with their day in generally about 90 seconds. We've heard firsthand from shops that this is saving them hours in their day, giving them that much precious time to be able to focus in on their customers' satisfaction, being able to turn their bays faster because now they're able to find the parts that they need, get them on order, bring them in, get that vehicle fixed, and get that customer back on the road. This is truly revolutionary in our industry, being able to bring all of these suppliers into one spot and cut out the hassle that it takes for you as a shop to find all of your part needs and tire needs in one spot. So that's the value of using PartsTech. Now I'm going to take a quick step back and show you some of the details about how we make this happen, and even some further, as some of you mentioned in your poll, wanting to understand how is it that I can find parts and tires even faster. And we'll show you what PartsTech has built in here to do it. We believe that what we have just off of that basic functionality that I showed you is lightning fast. There's no other solution out there that provides this capability of putting parts, tires, and OE into one cart in such a simple and efficient way. So let me just walk you through some very practical things about the platform itself. I'll direct your attention over here to the left-hand side. You're going to see some icons that we present to you over here. This first one here is Save Quotes. You might have noticed this down here at the bottom of the cart. I won't spend too much time on this. This is a great way if you're a dealer or perhaps a shop that isn't using a shop management system at this time to be able to put a quote together, save it, and then be able to go back to it at a later time and put that back into your cart and get those parts on order. We'll show you a little bit later on what stock ordering means. Is a great way for you to cut even more time out of ordering the parts that you purchase the most. We'll look at this tab here. This is just a quick reference for you to be able to go back and look for your most recent orders. If so, you'll be able to kind of go in there and look at those details and be able to understand your history there. We do provide some reporting. This is in our premium packages where we provide you some reporting. This is where you would go to access some of those needed reports to help you understand where your spend is going and how to optimize that spend. All right, I'm going to direct your attention to this little, I would say, building icon called My Shop. And this is where this is probably the most important tab for you as a new user just starting out, or maybe just not really familiar what this means or what it can do for you. This is your My Shop icon. When you click in here, there's a couple things across the top of the tab. Presented in tab form. Obviously, for you to be able to put in some shipping addresses, your pickup radius. I'll direct your attention first and foremost to this tab called Suppliers. This is where you as a shop, when you register for a new account with PartsTech, would come in and start finding suppliers in your area and connecting to them. You see, we've already got some loaded in here, but I'm going to go ahead and click this Add Suppliers button. So again, new to PartsTech, you want to connect suppliers. You go into your My Shop tab on the left-hand side. Then you select this My Suppliers tab and you click this to add suppliers. And you'll be brought into this screen here, where when you go to register and you put in the zip code of your shop, this is what this map will reflect now, is all of the parts and tire suppliers in your area that you can connect to. And so simply looking across all of them, you can do that. We present parts and tires in an all standpoint. If you want to just look at simply what are your parts suppliers in your area, you can filter down that way. Or if you just want to simply look at what your tire supplier availability is in your area, you can click this. I'm going to come back here to the All tab. Now, I just want to briefly point out some of the most connected to suppliers and the type of information that we might be adding here as well. If you click on AutoZone, you'll see there's a store 0.2 miles away. This is often referred to if this is the store you want to do because it's the closest, you'll add this. This store location will be set as your primary store location. With AutoZone, AutoZone requires a PIN. So that is all that it would take to put that in there. You put that in there and you hit submit, and then that request goes off to AutoZone for the connection. Napa, you come in here to Napa, you see a store you want to connect. Napa will ask you for what's called a TMS passcode. You'll have to go in there and create that passcode. Once that passcode is created, you put that in here, and then that ports your information into PartsTech. With WorldPack, I'll show you that one as well. You come into WorldPack and let's add that one there. You will need your speed dial account number information as well as a token to be able to put that information in there as well. And with O'Reilly, just popping another one in here as well, all you would simply need is your customer account information. Now, this is key because this is how we pull in your commercial contract information that you've worked out with your supplier. This information is needed so that whatever pricing you've worked out with that supplier will be reflected within PartsTech. And I want to stress, PartsTech does not mark up parts. We take the information based off of your account numbers that you put in and bring in your commercial agreement information that you've worked out with that supplier. So what you see in PartsTech is the exact same thing you would see directly with that supplier. I do want to point out real quick here, tires. We have brought in now 30 plus tire suppliers for you to be able to connect to absolutely free. If you want suppliers such as ATD, US Auto Force, or NTW, we encourage you to check out our Plus plan. We do find this is a very popular choice among our users, is the ability to be able to access these premium suppliers such as ATD, NTW, and US Auto Force. And again, this is where you would go to be able to find those suppliers in your area and connect to them. All right, so I've showed you real quick how to find suppliers, both part and tire, and add them to your account. I'm going to back out here. Now, to get connected to your SMS, this is quite a bit specialized depending on the specific SMS. And if you have questions about how to connect PartsTech to your shop management system, we encourage you to give us a call, give your rep a call, call our support team. They will be glad to take the few short minutes that it takes to walk you through how to connect to your shop management system. But very first and foremost within PartsTech, you will need to come up here to where you've got your sort of username as denoted by the circle in the upper left-hand corner. It'll say profile and API key. This is the information that you will need to copy and then go paste it into your management system to be able to connect PartsTech to your management system. So it's a seamless punch out when you're creating that RO in your management system and it comes time to find parts. You have that direct integration to jump out into PartsTech, build a cart, and then have it seamlessly transfer back into your management system RO. All right, so I'm going to show you some brief tips here on how to really find parts and tires in a much faster way. What I showed you previously was again, a revolutionary way of going in and building a cart with parts, aftermarket and OE and tires. Now I'm going to show you some even faster ways that you can find parts. Let's say all you have is a part number here, and I'm going to type in this one, 83. Type in all brands. So if all you know is a part number, you're not sure what the part name is, you don't want to mess it up, but you have the part number, you can type in the part number and PartsTech will automatically perform the part number interchanges for you. So you can see here denoted that this number, this F1883 has translated into the 49883 for Wix through O'Reilly. So again, some other solutions out there on the market, they have this as a separate add-on or another functionality that you might need to pay for. PartsTech builds this into the basic operation that we provide absolutely for free to be able to run those part number interchanges and save you time to be able to find the right part that you might need in your vehicle. Again, this is where you would come in, search by keyword, by part type, or by part number, and be able to do that. The other thing I want to point out to you that really helps in being able to quickly assess what is the most available part for you to be able to get it as quickly as possible is if you notice as you're tabbing through each of these suppliers, I like to tell people to keep an eye out on these color indicators. So you see this one here is yellow. As I tab through, I might see another one that's green. This is your best option for being able to quickly tab through suppliers and see which ones are green. PartsTech will always surface the parts that are most available towards the top of your list to save you further time from scrolling down. If you do want another brand that maybe is in a yellow category, then you can scroll down to find that. But we will always present the parts that are available at your preferred locations if they are towards the top of the screen to save you scrolling time. Green indicates that your primary store for that supplier has availability. If it shows as yellow, that means that this supplier has stock, but it's not at your primary location. It's at a location down the road, a little bit farther away, across town, and it may take a little bit more time to get there, or might incur some type of a shipping charge to reach your facility. And I'm not showing any out of stock, but if there is out of stock, it would show as red. So we find that we get several questions, in fact, quite a few questions from customers wanting to understand what that color code means. That's what it means. And I would say it's really just meant for you to get a quick visual as you're tabbing across to see which of your suppliers has availability for you. We'll also put the inventory level there for you. So for this part, you'll see that there are currently 7 in stock at your primary location for this air filter through XL Parts. All right, another very fast way to be able to find parts coming in free. We do enable you to get a experience with our jobs functionality, which is a canned way for you to be able to go in and select a job and then be able to automatically have all of those parts presented to you in a neat package. And so let me come in here. If you come back up here, you'll notice this tab called Jobs. In our free package, we enable you to experience this for front brakes. If you would like more functionality on jobs, then those are available through some of our paid packages in our Plus or Complete. But if we come in here and I'm going to select front brake, now you're going to see in the upper left-hand corner, all of the parts that I need for that job are presented in a sequential ordering sequence. And you're going to see that it's the first one, this disc brake pad set, and I'm going to clear out this cart so you can see that. We'll have this disc brake pad set. Again, I can tab through all of my suppliers. I'm going to add this one to the cart. And then we're going to automatically move to the next part and run that search for you. So this is a huge time saver and an even further enhancement from what I showed you earlier, where I was having to go in and type in each of the part names individually and then run the search off of that. With our jobs functionality, which you can experience on front brake jobs for free, we put all of those parts in a canned sequence for you, cutting out the time that you need to go in there and individually type this out. So another very fast way for you to find parts and build your cart and get that back into your RO as fast as possible. The other thing I want to show you as well is diagrams. This was released towards the end of last year and is a fantastic way for you to be able to come in and search for parts using a visual. So let's say you don't even have a part name or a number. You just kind of know what it looks like on the vehicle. You can come here into the upper left-hand corner. You're going to see this little widget up here called View Diagrams. I'll also point out that you can view that as well by putting your cursor in the type field form, and you'll see this box called Vehicle Diagrams. And if I want to start by looking for a parts here visually, I'm going to start looking into the axle. And you're going to see these visuals pop up with multiple diagrams within that category that you can flip through to easily look through these visuals to verify that part that you have in your hand, or perhaps that part that's still out in the vehicle for you as well. You'll also notice that this is an interactive diagram. So as I'm hovering over these parts here, they're presenting the part name. And if I'm doing the same over on the left-hand side with the part name, you'll see that that visual is lighting up over on the other side of it. So I'm going to come in here and select this axle bearing. I want to go to this diagram, select this boot and this assembly. You're going to see that all of these now are queued up. I'm going to hit my start search button. And now you're going to see that all of these part numbers, all of these parts are presented in the same way as we just did with jobs, in a queued sequential fashion. So you can simply add them to your cart and move on with your day here. All right, so some very helpful ways to enable you to be able to find the parts that you need even faster. And this, again, is all included for free for you to be able to start using right out of the gate. Now, in closing, I kind of want to show you some other functionality specifically around the cart that we get a lot of questions around this. So if I come down here to the bottom part of my cart in the lower right-hand corner, I've got this expander button. If I expand that out, then I can actually go in here for the parts that I've put into my cart, and I can pick which type of delivery option I want, depending again upon the contracts and the distances that you've worked out with the locations of those stores. You're also able to put in any PO number if you want, or any notes as well. So again, just want to make sure people are aware of this functionality at the lower right-hand part of their cart. We also get some questions about, sometimes it says submit quote versus buy now. Because I am directly using PartsTech as a direct login right now, I could push this button down here on the bottom, and this will immediately buy the parts that are in my cart. If I've accessed PartsTech through my management system, this will say submit quote. And that means this cart then will be transferred back into your management system. And from there, you will be able to complete your repair order and order your cart from your management system. So I just wanted to make that clear. Sometimes we get questions about the submit quote versus the buy now. Again, it depends on how you've accessed PartsTech as to what that would say and how that looks. Okay, the other thing related with transferring your cart over that I'll show you is if you go back to this My Shop tab, you're going to see brand preferences. And the first sort of box you come to here is the option for you to be able to toggle on or off whether you want the brand name to show up in your shop management system on that repair order. A very nifty way for you to be able to just cut out any of that confusion or the questions that customers might have about brand. You can hide that brand name visibility. Again, depending on which management system you're using, that'll be reflected a little bit differently, but here's a way for you to go in and hide that brand name visibility and provide the information in the way that you want it to. All right, so I hope you found some of these tips and tricks on getting started very useful. I'll pop back out here real quick into our presentation. I'm about over. One thing I do want to remind those who have started using PartsTech, we do have a referral program. It's a very easy way for you to earn a $100 gift card by referring PartsTech. So again, you can get to that information in your My Shop icon, and you'll notice there was that tab called Rewards next to brand name preferences. That's where you would go to find that information. But please, we encourage you, if you're using PartsTech and you're enjoying it, refer someone to it, a friend, another shop, and you and that individual will be entered into eligibility for a $100 gift card. All right, so that's the end of this here. Again, you can sign up for free. You can start using PartsTech without even giving us any credit card information at all. We will not ask for payment. We would only ask for it if you choose to purchase one of our premium plans. But you can literally register for free, start using PartsTech for free, connect to your suppliers, connect it to your management system if that's how you are ordering parts and running your shop, and you can be up and running in a matter of minutes using PartsTech. All right, I'll open it up for questions. I know we're at time here, but we're willing to stay on if you are as well to answer any questions that you might have. And Stephen, I'll turn it over to you and see if we got any questions in the Q&A box.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is my favorite part. So any questions that you guys have, feel free to start posting in the Q&A. I'm just going to start live answering them. So I'll stop typing from here on out. I'll read what the question is and then jump right into answering it. So yeah, please feel free to take some time to start entering them in. Okay. Can you show how it works on Techmetric? So anything Techmetric specific, this is something where your sales rep should be able to walk you through a demo if you have any questions about how to punch out from PartsTech and stuff. Most of our PartsTech sales reps can answer those questions, but also your Techmetric sales reps as well. They're pretty familiar with PartsTech and showing how to punch out. They'll walk you through all the options of using the e-commerce button within Techmetric, punching out into PartsTech, and then from there you're adding everything to the cart, hitting submit quote, and it's all going back into that repair order. So they'll be able to walk you through specifics around that. Are there any tire suppliers that are free to use? Absolutely. Yeah. So we have over 30 different tire suppliers that are free to use on our platform. So when John mentioned earlier, there are a few tire suppliers. We don't have this on the aftermarket side, but on the tire side, there's a few what we're calling like a premium supplier. These are ones that unfortunately we don't currently have a seller agreement with. So we do have to augment the cost with the seller connection fee that we have implemented through our Plus plan. So you're able to purchase our PartsTech Plus plan. As John mentioned, it's a very popular option from our customers that have connected through that way. But aside from those, we still have over 30 different ones. When you get to the supplier page, the way that's going to look on yours is it'll show you which ones are paid and then which ones you can just click add. And then that will show you which ones are free or not. So over 30 free ones to get you covered there. Saving tire quotes. So yeah, this is something where the ability to save a tire quote. John, did you want to jump over to that area? Yeah, so we're working through. I mean, this is going to be coming soon, where we'll be able to save and show the historicals behind the quote. This is something where if you're purchasing our PartsTech Plus or Complete plans, you'll be able to have our lightweight quoting functionality. This isn't to be in place of a shop management system. This is to augment it. So especially if you're putting together a tire quote from the customer, they walk up in your store and you want to quickly show a good, better, best, and then be able to email it to them, be able to flip your monitor, help them make the decision on the spot. We have a few different options that you're able to cover there. But ultimately, we will generate a link for that quote that you can send to the customer if they're offsite as well. And it's something where you're talking to them over the phone. You want to send it to them so they can evaluate the option, as John's showing right here. Yep, here's all the options you have around that. Yeah, lots of cool stuff on the tire side. Is there electrical diagrams, electronic, etc.? Yeah, so electric diagrams or like wiring diagrams getting into that area. We currently don't support those. Most of it's the mechanical type diagrams where we're showing the exploded views depending on the portion of the vehicle that you're looking at, allowing you to quickly select the items that you need and then being able to run a job based off that. So on the mechanical side for now, but not on the wiring or electrical diagram side. I know that currently the number of suppliers that carry vintage or classic parts is super limited. Absolutely. Something that can possibly be integrated in the future. Yeah, my advice there, if you have any suppliers that you do not see on our platform today, one, reach out, let us know the supplier because they may be on our platform and for some reason you're just not able to view them for your area. There may be an issue there. It's not usually the case, but sometimes it does happen. Just check with us. We'll confirm and see if we can get it connected already for you. If that's not the case, usually the path is we're going to document the supplier that you're interested in so we can start to reach out to them to say we have PartsTech customers. They're also mutual customers with you. They'd love to have you on the platform. And then it kind of helps bridge that gap. It also helps if you reach out to the supplier as well and say, hey, love to have you guys on PartsTech. Is there any way you can reach out to them? So tackling it from both ways typically helps speed up those integrations. Is community wholesale tire one of the free ones? That's a good question. John, can you do you have a list of the free ones up at all? I believe they're free, but I also don't want to say that for sure without checking our list. We'll have that answer for you in just a second here. We're going to circle back to that one while John looks that up. Another question that we have is,
Sorry,
oh yeah,
Stephen.
perfect. Go ahead.
Community
Yep.
Tire Wholesale is a supplier that we offer for free.
Awesome. There you go. So get connected to them and start ordering. Let us know if you have any issues there. Hey, John, can you jump back to the just the dashboard so we can see the search in view real quick? And then use the drop down for the recent search history. So right next to the search button up at the top. Yep. So just so you guys know, this is an area where you can go through and you can look up recent searches that you did. If you're using a shop management system, usually you're punching out from the repair order. It's passing us the vehicle that you're working on. So you typically don't need to switch between vehicles, but you may want to look up a previous search as well. So this is always an option if you're using this as a standalone. This is kind of a hack around like being able to view saved vehicles. So if 2 days ago you look up something for a Ford F-150, it was a disc brake pad set, you want to come back to that, this is kind of a quicker way to jump to it. The question that we had is like, hey, the history of vehicles seems pretty limited. From this perspective, we don't store too much information in the recent history just because of the nature of you're punching out with the vehicle that you're looking up. But if you're using this as a standalone, it might also look pretty limited from that perspective. So not much that we have there in terms of like storing a record of vehicles. Um, Emailing quotes, printing included with the free version. So when it comes to the quoting functionality around tires and stuff like that, that's not part of the free version. That's something where getting into PartsTech Plus and Complete, jump into those plans, that will allow you to do everything that John is showing in this current view. So you're able to do the comparison quote. You're also able to set up all of your line items. So you can quickly go through and set up your mountain balance, your TPS. We have a pretty advanced matrix to do almost about anything you'd want to do when it comes to pricing this out for your customers. As well as John, can you click or jump back to that one more time on the quote part? Yep, review quote and then quick edit quote at the top. Yeah, so right here on the fly too. So if the customer says, I don't care, don't want the road hazard warranty, take it off, this is too expensive. You can do that on the fly, turn it off, and then click done. And then we'll automatically update the quote on the fly for them. And then John, can you go to edit quote one more time? We also have the ability where you can change the package. So like, let's say it's a fleet customer where you're typically giving them a discount. You can select the discount package and then it can apply instantly different line items for that customer. So we'll adjust those on the fly too. All right. Let me see here. Okay, so thank you for the shout out. Just reading through one of the messages in the comments there about first of all, congratulations on your journey moving from the shop manager and then asked to become a shop manager and then the CFO and all that. That's a pretty awesome path. But awesome that you love using the software. We love to hear that. And to be fair, as much as we love to hear that people use it and love it, we also love to hear the issues and how we can make it better as well. So always feel free to submit us feedback, and we definitely take a look at everything that comes through, and we're constantly improving there. So thank you again for that shout out. What DMS systems does PartsTech integrate with? So we don't integrate PartsTech directly with the dealer management system. So if you're at a dealership and you're trying to use us to service your vehicles or part of your recon process, you can't like punch out from your dealer management system in the way that you can from a shop management system. But you're able to still use this as a standalone and then be able to quote everything out that you need, connect basically everything John showed today, you're able to do. It's just we can't send this info back into the DMS for you. So unfortunately, we're not able to do that portion. When it comes to connecting dealerships as sellers in our environment, we're able to integrate from that way with all the dealer management systems. I was recently added as a user to a PartsTech Plus account, interested primarily in report section, but when I go to view the information, it's not populated. Why is that? In your reporting section, if you are on our PartsTech Plus or Complete program and you're able to get into reporting, if you were added as a user by the admin on your account, they need to check your user permissions. John, can you jump over to my shop and go to users? And then click on the very last one on that list that's not an admin. Okay, so right here, the admin on your account would have to go through and check out the permissioning. We do have reporting permissions where they can actually have full access turned off to where it's not populating the data, or they can flip it on. So it's really up to whether it's the owner, the shop manager, whoever's the admin, if they want to restrict being able to see all the spend and different things and reporting, they can shut that off that they added as a user. But they should be able to go and flip that back on for you. If there's any issues there, again, reach out to our support team and we'll get that fixed right away. For those of you who don't know, we have pretty advanced reporting too. John, you want to jump into reports real quick? Yeah, so right here, I mean, you can view spend by supplier. You can see the breakdown of how your spend's going all the way down to the order level. You can filter by suppliers. We'll be able to show all the historics around that. And then, John, can you jump back over to the other reporting dashboard? The other two ones that we have on PartsTech Complete is parts and tire purchasing. So here we'll break it down to saying air filters in general. Here's what you're purchasing, and here's the most common brands that you're purchasing. So especially if you find this is to help kind of speed up your shop when it comes to stock ordering and figuring out what you should be stocking. If you're seeing through like you're running through 10 of the same air filters and it's not something that you're stocking on the shelf and you're running through these things weekly, we'll help you optimize that to be able to add it to our stock ordering functionality, and you can just start to quickly stock order common parts for your shop. Let's see. Sending parts quote to customer text or email like tires. Yep, we got that one covered. So again, we had a question around being able to send out quotes going into the tire functionality. When you grab the link, you can go back into your shop management system. We want to make sure that you have one source of communication with your customers. You're able to grab a link to that quote, go into the texting feature within your shop management system, paste it in there, and then they'll be able to get that quote, and you can communicate with them back and forth through that single channel, which is your shop management system or whatever core texting platform that you're typically using. Session is definitely being recorded. For sure, it's something that you guys will get a copy of. And then also, we've been working on doing these at a pretty annual cadence or monthly cadence, not annual. John, is that right? Is we're aiming to do these at least every 30 days? Is that the cadence that we're working on?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so yeah, if you want to see it all over again, not just the recording, you want to learn new things, feel free to join it or have other people from your teams join it. Nice info. Thanks for the shout out. Does your app work on mobile or only absolutely works on mobile? If you have any issues there, let us know, or anything that we can optimize better. But yeah, we have tons of people using it on mobile, as well as mobile mechanics being able to use our product. You guys, great, wonderful tips. I will add the vendor. Awesome. Thanks, Rick, for the shout out there. Is this only if you order through PartsTech? I lost context. Anyone asking if this is only if you order through PartsTech? If you can add more details, I lost context to that original conversation, but I'd be more than happy to answer that one. Stephanie, thanks for the shout out. Glad that you're enjoying it. Cool. All right. Yeah, let's see. We're right at about time, or probably a little over time here with all these questions. So yeah, thank you for all the questions. Again, we love doing this at the end. It's a good opportunity as like a catch-all. Any questions that you guys have, any concerns, any issues, love going through and answering this. We take it pretty serious, and something that we have teams that are like customer obsessed. We want to truly build the best product. We know it's not perfect. We know we have plenty of work to do. We have an exciting roadmap for this year where we'll be doing a lot more search and results enhancements. Anytime you have a search issue, at the very bottom of the search results, there's a new reporting function. You click that, we try to make it as easy as possible. Just give us any information you have about what's wrong, and we'll be able to have our cataloging team look directly into it, as well as our search and results team. Yeah, John's showing that right here. Let's cover this one just real quick. Yep, so right here, let's say you don't see the disc brake pad set that you thought should have been there. Down a little bit further, John, right there. So we have reporting functionality, and we're asking just in general, was it missing brand, missing a specific item, or I'm just not seeing what I expected? I typed in something and this doesn't look right. Let us know. We're always capturing that data and then improving upon it. A lot of other work going in this year on fluids. This came up throughout the Q&A. A lot of work going into fluids, a lot of work into non-applicator universal parts, a lot of work being done there. So expect a lot of enhancements coming here for the next, throughout the remainder of the year.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay, and one more question I'll answer. The app works best for a mobile phone or mobile mechanic that can be found on Google Play. We don't have a native application. You're able to just load it directly in the browser, go to partstech.com, and then as long as you keep the tab open, we keep you signed in, so you can reference that directly. So unfortunately, not a native app, but you are able to use the browser or pin that browser tab. I think Google allows you to do that on your actual app screen as well, so you have quicker access to it as almost like a web app. Okay, all right. Yeah, thank you for all the questions. This was awesome. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to John to get this wrapped up.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. I really appreciate taking time to answer those questions, and certainly Stephen representing a fantastic product team that really works hard to understand customer needs, take customer feedback, and actually make that happen in our platform as quickly as possible. So just want to wrap up here again. If you haven't signed up, please do so completely free. No credit card information needed, connecting unlimited number of suppliers across parts and tires in your account. If you do need help, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'll help you get set up so you can be on your way to maximizing efficiency in your shop. We thank you for joining us. We'll look forward to talking to you next time. Have a great day.